Leaders, good afternoon. Thank you for attending. Saturdays are days of learning about product, which we have determined to use for product, and that is the product of Alliance in Motion. And but as we continue to learn about products, we noticed that we need to learn about our customers. We need to learn about the challenges that are facing our fellow distributors and their fellow customers, the challenges that are facing us as well. And therefore, we decided to also learn about, wellness, because we want to come across to our customers with information that can be validated, information that can be fact-checked, so that we will not appear as a scam or just a group that wants to recruit people. Therefore, we went to learn about wellness courses. And as we were learning on the wellness courses, we started with the courses of anti-aging within the wellness. And we were made aware by leaders like Paul Zane Pilsner, who is a professor of economics, who observed that wellness is the next trillion industry. And also we if it was the days of Bill Gates, at that time, nobody made us aware that the computers are the next billion industry, but this time, Paul Zane Pilsner, brought the idea of wellness revolution, and also that wellness is the next trillion industry. And indeed, our directors with the CEO called Dr. Ed Kabantong, he took that advice, because here we are, he opened an industry within wellness using the distribution of network marketing. And I went to investigate within his own country, and I came across the name, the Dr. Homa Lim, as you see there on the screen. This doctor is a Filipino, and it is very interesting to see, when we learn from Dr. Ed, the influence that is around him and as well as his country. That it is a country that has got, the wellness revolution is picking up in his country, because the products that he brought in wellness, they were picked up by even the pharmaceutical industry within Philippines, and it is growing even in Thailand. The doctors there are beginning to prescribe that which he is selling, which means that they are giving his products a vote of confidence. But remember, Dr. Ed is a medical doctor. Now, I do not know who invited him into network marketing, but I can imagine the difficulty of inviting a doctor into network marketing, either for an extra income, or whatever. Because we look at professionals and we are afraid of coming to them and say, do you need an extra income? We think that where they are satisfied, they are fulfilled. And we forget that even at the financial level, professionals have got debts that are bigger than the debts that are of the people at a lower level. So everybody always needs an extra income. But the interesting part about him being a medical doctor, as well as coming to, multi-level marketing, is for him to choose, you know, something that doctors do not choose more often. Doctors are comfortable in a healthcare industry. Now, a healthcare industry is different from a wellness industry. A healthcare industry is what we can call a sickness industry, because there they come to look at the symptoms and they cure the symptoms. They are not looking at the, you know, the cause. They don't go all out to say, let us prevent this. They wait for you to have something and then they cure that. I mean, that's what they are trained for. Now, it was very interesting to see him that he is taking a wellness industry. So it simply means that Philippines is a place that has got wellness revolution, that has got an awareness of wellness, to a point that even the doctors are comfortable in that industry. And therefore, we as South Africans are learning from them, because at the end of the day, he was a distributor of wellness products of another company, but his influence grew to a point that he opened his own company of wellness. But now when you look in his country, you find people like Dr. Homer Lim, a very interesting doctor who decided to put his course of cancer nutrition in the online academy of Udemy, and he decided to put it there for free. You know, courses that are there are courses that are paid, but he decided to put it for free. As I say to you, we decided to branch within the wellness and look at the category of anti-aging and longevity. And we noticed within that category that there are certain, you know, age-related sicknesses. And those age-related sicknesses that we found there were sicknesses like, first and foremost, it was heart disease, you know, and after that, we had cancer. And after cancer, we had diabetes. And after diabetes, we had, you know, Alzheimer. And we noticed that these are obstacles within, you know, growing, because in as much as we also found a challenge from Dr. Sinclair in Australia, who came with a statement that is saying, you know, aging is a disease. And he even said that in 2018, you know, the World Health Organization decided to submit, you know, aging as one of the categories of diseases. And he further went on to say that it is not as much as aging, but it is about premature aging, which is a disease. And therefore, we noticed there that there are certain sicknesses that become obstacles as we are growing. And I, as a distributor in Alliance in Motion, decided to look mainly at wellness and anti-aging, you know, as my line that I will investigate. You know, other people, they will look at the financial freedom as their main line that they will investigate. But I decided to look at this wellness as the line of investigation, because I saw that there is a need of, you know, taking care of myself, you know, because if I'm able to take care of the car and make sure that the car reaches its destination, and make sure that as a driver, I give the car, you know, good fuel, which is pure, why do I not give myself good fuel? You know, and that is why I decided to look at wellness. But as we went to wellness together, we took a course which I distributed to some of us, which is about, you know, anti-aging as well as nutrition. And when we took that course, we discovered that, you know, within anti-aging, there are obstacles, And those obstacles are obstacles which are like cancer. And last week, we looked at very interesting declarations from a Netflix documentary, which is called The C Word. And those declarations were saying, it is time that we must not fear cancer, but cancer must fear us. Cancer cannot be an elephant in the room, because the stats that are there, they were actually saying, we are not a 1 in 100, you know, in the issue of cancer, but we are a 1 in 2, in every 2, one of us has or will have cancer, which means that, you know, every one of us has cancer cells that have not yet, you know, manifested. And we cannot wait for cancer to come to us. We must take the war to cancer. That means we need to know about cancer. We need to understand cancer and be informed, because I also made a quote of somebody who says, you know, freedom of speech without information, you know, is not freedom at all. We need, I mean, freedom of choice. For us to have a freedom of choice, we need to have good information. So if we say we want to make a choice about where cancer must be in our lives, whether under our feet or above our head, it is a choice that we can make when we are informed about cancer. And we also learned that cancer is a metabolic disease. That is something that I'm going to be touching today. It is a metabolic disease more than it is a genetic disease. And the studies are showing that only 25% of us have it as a genetic disease, but even those, it becomes an issue of nutrition that help us to overcome. I have a sister who has a friend that was talking yesterday about, you know, the father discovering that he has cancer. You know, a father who is a pastor, who has lived a wonderful life. And, you know, this lady says, I know my father as a strong man, you know, a brave man. But when, you know, he was told that he has cancer, and all this time, it is for the first time I see him being full of fear, you know, and this is the life that we have been given, even in Hollywood, in all the movies. Whenever a doctor is coming to announce that one has cancer, it becomes an elephant in the room, like a death sentence. We had that thing in South Africa, you know, a few years ago, when one was to be declared to be HIV positive. It was like a death sentence. But we were educated until we found out that actually we can overcome HIV and AIDS. And so it is with cancer. The reason why I speak about this introduction is because we have been given products which are called anti-cancer products. And these products that we have, before we take them to anybody, we need to understand where we stand, you know, against the illness of cancer. We need to take a position whereby we are going to know that this cancer is something that we will be dealing with it, and much more than we will be dealing with the COVID-19. And at the same time, we need to have ways of looking at cancer and take control of it. We also need to have ways of looking at our relatives with cancer and help them to move out of the fear and give them the necessary information. We also have a challenge of taking our products to people who have cancer, But how do you do that when you know very well that, when you come to them with the C word, quote unquote, you are coming about an elephant in the room, and it is difficult to address this. So we need to demystify cancer, and we need also to have the good psychology of approaching people who have got this challenge. It is much easier when it is people at home. It is more difficult when it is somebody outside, because it becomes something that has been stigmatized. So we must learn how to work together with families that have got this challenge, and not chase them away when we bring these products, and not bring them as though it is an opportunistic, situation. And that is why today I want to make a disclaimer, since I am reading the notes of a course of the instructor, Dr. Lim, which were provided there for free of charge. I want to make a disclaimer, as I will be recording this on YouTube, that this is not, this is not a video that is of making money, but it is a video that is intended to bring awareness, to us. Let me just hold on. I must mute a few people. Can you mute yourself, leaders there? It is disturbing the recording. Somebody there is disturbing the recording. Thank you. So here we know that this is real. We will be living with people that have this situation in our homes, as well as people outside. We must be able to work with them and not make cancer an elephant in the room. And we have products. We need to be brave about the fact that we have products that are able to speed up the curing on cancer. Initially, I said that I want to make a disclaimer first, that this is a wellness outreach, not a selling video, because we are using somebody's notes who decided to give them for free. It is very interesting that this person, Dr. Homer, is from Philippines, and also our headquarters is in Philippines. This is Dr. Homer, medical doctor. Well, he is a vice president of that association mentioned there. And if you look at his biography, it says Dr. Homer Lim is a medical doctor with specialization in geriatrics, chronic degenerative diseases such as cancer, diabetes, Parkinson's, and autoimmune disorders. He has over 10 years of experience in the holistic wellness industry. He uses integrative methods in treating diseases such as IV nutrition. The IV nutrition are the infusions. They are the ones that you inject instead of taking a pill. You just inject it to go straight to the bloodstream. Acupuncture, hypothermia, herbal and nutrient remedies, traditional Chinese medicine, and energy medicine. Dr. Lim is the vice president for the International Society for Integrated Anti-Aging Medicine, which promotes integrative medicine in Southeast Asia. He is currently the managing director of DAMA Health Therapy Incorporated, a wellness consulting company that specializes on the operation of integrated wellness centers in spas, hospitals, and resorts. I give you this so that you can go and check his name, in Udemy, so that you begin to follow what he taught about them, about cancer and nutrition. So the reason also why I want to go through this, it is also to help us to be able to deal with our family members when we are bringing the product that we have, which is full of the nutrition that is mentioned here. we must be able to show them the, where we come from with the issue of the nutrition that is mentioned here, which is also in our product. Now, he says here, a simple to follow nutrition tips for cancer survivors who are either in treatment or in remission. This course is about how cancer can be controlled, stopped, or prevented using proper nutrition. Cancer can be a formidable diagnosis, but it is not a death sentence. That's what I was talking about. That, we can no longer fear cancer. Cancer must begin to fear us. He says this course will take you about 1 to 2 hours and contains PDFs that can be printed. This course is structured for people to be able to recall and understand. It says again, this course includes tips on foods that feed or fight cancer, foods that boost the immune system, what to take before, during, and after surgery, chemotherapy and radiotherapy, what supplements would be ideal for cancer prevention, recurrence, what is detoxification and fasting good for. That is the doctor. Now, this is the course. The course is cancer and nutrition. I want to say this to us leaders. We will be meeting people who have cancer. Now, when you meet those people, you need to have a psychology of communicating with them. You need to wait for them to be the ones who are opening up to you, so that when you respond, you begin to respond with the information that is here. You don't just go to anyone who has cancer and throw information and throw a product, because to them, they understand it as a life-threatening challenge. So you don't go to somebody who has got a life-threatening challenge and just throw your knowledge or throw your product. You need to be sensitive. You need to allow them to communicate with you, wait for your opportunity, and when the door is open, that is where now you begin to give answers, the kind of answers that will make your relative or your prospective customer or the prospective distributor to have confidence in you. This course is very much in my heart, because since I started Alliance in Motion, I've got more than 6 cases of cancer that came to me. And those people, I did not chase them, but I have been so encouraged by seeing the progress that is in their lives. I have seen people with a cancer of the liver in stage 4 who come to me and say, my sister is an academic, a professional who has been stopped from work because of this, and she is sleeping and she cannot do anything. And then after 2 months of C24/7, they come back and say, now she is able to stand, she is able to go to work. I also have another case, that is a case here in Cape Town. I have a case in Bloemfontein, a similar case of a lady who said that my mother has got this challenge, and right now they are encouraged because their mother is walking again. And I said to myself, C24/7 seems to be knowing more than I do, and that's a problem, because C24/7 is just a product, and I'm a human being who is carrying this product, and I need to know what it is doing to those people. Because we do have people that when they start with C24/7, they have problems, they start to have diarrhea, they start to have headaches, and they leave it that first week and they don't talk about it. Imagine when you are going to give this to a cancer patient who decided to open to you, and the first week becomes a very problematic week, and after that, they don't talk about the product anymore. I also have a downline here who has given testimonies about how C24/7 has helped the father in the same problem. Now, I want us to quickly go through and look at this, and I encourage you leaders that go to this course. You can learn it and finish it, and you can receive the notes that can give you a basic knowledge. I'm going to deal with half of the course. I will not deal with the area of chemo and therapy and radiotherapy. I will not deal with that area. I will only deal with the area of the nutrition and how it must be applied by people who have this challenge. Now, the doctor here says that, Dr. Lim says cancer is a war of attrition. That means the cells of cancer, what they do, they eat up, our body. Now, we also need to do something in return and starve those cells. The cells that have become cancerous, we can starve them, whilst the ones that are healthy, we can feed them. Now, how do you starve another cell and feed another cell? Now, he says here, cachexia is the loss of muscle mass due to cancer signals. Now, when people have cancer, they don't lose fat, they lose muscle mass. And that makes them to be weak. That's why they are not able to walk. Now, how do we help them to gain their muscle again? Now, it says that cachexia can be reversed with the right diet, and then the nutritional quality is more important than the quantity. There are foods which can restore the muscles. We are going to learn about them, which are full of protein. So we need to help our fellow brothers, sisters, fathers, mothers, when they have a loss of strength, to show them how they can be able to have this kind of food. And because it's not the quantity of food, but it is the quality, that is the nutrition quality that is more. Now, he says 70% of the people that are faced with cancer, they have got clinical signs of malnutrition. So now their main challenge is not cancer, but their main challenge is malnutrition. The reason that their main challenge is malnutrition is because, they've got a metabolic challenge, and at the end of the day, they cannot eat and they become weak. And also what they take out of their body kinds of give up. But it is because of malnutrition that makes that. It says now up to 80% of patients have below optimal levels of albumin, which I believe that it is in the white blood cells. I must also make a disclaimer that I am not a doctor. I am only a wellness activist who is ready to learn, because I want to speak the right thing to the people that I'm giving these products that we have. So I will not be able to go too technical. I'm only giving what I'm learning as well. And it says up to 40% of people die due to malnutrition, not cancer itself. So that is why we need to really look at the nutrition when it comes to the issue of cancer. Now, he says this is the reasons why patients need nutritional support. It says now their cells themselves, the cancer cells, they produce cytokines, and those cytokines, they bring weight loss, especially to the muscles. They eat up the muscles, and also they bring weakness. And as they bring weakness, they begin to bring loss of appetite. And now in the loss of appetite, there is now a poorly reversed, that it's poorly reversed by increasing caloric intake. Because now when they are like this, they need nutrition, and that nutrition that they need, there has to be a good intake of calories. So they are in a situation where they are weak. They have got a weight loss, especially the muscles. Now this is the situation, that a cycle that they find themselves in. First and foremost, the people who are challenged by cancer, their digestive system becomes weak, and as it becomes weak, they have now poor appetite. They don't want to eat. And as they don't want to eat, now even the elimination of what they've taken it becomes weak. Now we need to have a way of helping them to receive strength how do we give to them the protein that is going to build their muscles? You know, how do we give to them the nutrition in the midst of a digestion which is weak? So the problem that they have, as I said, it is mainly a problem of deficiency of nutrition, which means, again, I'm going back to the issue of protein, that their white blood cells are highly challenged. And also, you know, they do not have the, you know, the amino acids, the essential one, it becomes low. And also the essential fatty acids, you know, they need them. They are deficient of them, and also they are deficient of vitamins and minerals. So the main thing here is to say, leaders, yes, there is that debate of academics about cancer coming from, you know, when I was talking about this sister who says the father was afraid, the father eventually says, you know, this thing, my grandfather had it, and then my mother had it, and also I have it. You know, you find yourself as though there is a death sentence, there is nothing you can do about it. But here they say it is 75% nutritionally battle, more than that 25% issue of genes, which means that you can make a correction through nutrition. So we need to come to the place where we can say that have no fear. Let us look at the nutrition together. That is why I want us to go through this. Now, here is an important statement. The number of patients who die of cancer, who have good nutrition status, is 0. Now, that is mind-blowing. We need to take our grandmothers, we need to take our fathers, our uncles, to a place where they will have a nutrition status that is full. You know, if you can look at what you know, C24/7 has for us, the ones who are listening to this you know, video, maybe they are in other health companies. I want you to think of the products that are in your companies. The comfort that I have is to know that I can take C24/7 and show it to the person who has got this challenge, to say this is the amount of nutrients that are here. And also, when I have this challenge, it is very important that I must go to the doctor and say to the doctor, this is C24/7, it is phytochemicals, it is nutrition, vitamins. Can you please check it if there is something that is going to work against me during my time of radio therapy, during my time of chemotherapy? So it is important that there must be that kind of engagement. But here is something that we need to hear, leaders. The number of patients who die of cancer with good nutrition status, they are 0. So that is already beginning to remove fear in me, you know, for my family, you know. Now, it says, wouldn't it be more logical to nourish the body? Wouldn't it be more logical for us to nourish the body? I think it is. I think it is. And also, this is what I'm making myself ready for, because this challenge of cancer is like when there is a migration of animals. The wildebeest migration, when you look at it, when in a documentary, you will find that they know that they are going to cross a river that is crocodile infested, but they must cross it and go to the other side. So at one stage in our lives, dear leaders, this is not about somebody else, it's about me and you. There is a time when we are going to meet this crocodile called cancer, because we have to cross somewhere. We are crossing in places that have got this kind of food, which is full of oxidants that are attacking our cells. So at some stage, we will come across this. So we need to be ready leaders and nourish our bodies and those of our families. Now, this is the food for cachexia, which is the loss of muscle. Excuse me. The food must be calorie dense, but it does not say that it must have sugar. It must be calorie dense. We will see that what kinds of food that they have calorie dense, because this person needs energy. It's about energizing. The food here is fuel than something that is to fill the stomach. Now, it must also be rich in protein. Remember, the protein here is because of the loss of muscle as well. And the fats, it is the good fats, not the bad ones. It must be high in protein and fats. Now, we need to make sure that these are the foods that we have for our people. You know, it talks about the amount of protein. Omega-3 fatty acids. Leaders, we have with us and our omega-3, which is the strongest ever, which is choleduz. And also omega-3, let us remember, leaders, omega-3, it is, you know, it is removing inflammation. It is an anti-inflammation because omega-6 brings inflammation. So let us remember, when we administer those products, we must also remember to bring a choleduz. And also, you know, there is an amount of amino acids that must be there for the people. This is just for the people to regain the muscle, because we don't say they must gain fat, they must gain muscle, you know, because they lose muscle. Even the people who do the workouts, they know that what food they must take to gain muscle. So that is what we must have there. Now, that is omega-3, and that is choleduz to us. It shows the amount, the dose that one must do each day, and also it will increase muscle mass, and it is going to provide the much needed calories. Now you see, leaders, that is the calorie dense foods that we are talking about there. As I said earlier, it decreases inflammation. Remember, leaders, inflammation is also an atmosphere that makes the cancer cells to flourish, because wherever there is inflammation, there is a whole lot of blood that comes there that helps these cells to get rooted. So it decreases that inflammation. We don't need inflammation during that situation. Now, the other thing here, the cancer patients who are not eating well, let us help them with blended foods. You know, it can be either juiced or blended. Now, when it is blended, it is when the whole thing from the pill to the everything, it is just put into the blender. But when it is juiced, it is when it is squeezed. So normally, sometimes they get fed through the nasogastric tube and gastrostomy. Sorry, like I said, I'm a lay person, I'm a learner in this, and that is why I am willing to learn it together with you leaders. Now, here is another situation here. The main thing here, it is about eating, but not pill popping. Now, we need to encourage our people to eat, you know, not just to fill themselves with pills, but they have to eat, you know, even if it is small meals that are frequent, you know, small meals, even if it's 5 to 6, they must eat something, not just to put in pills. They must always have something that they are eating because they need to have also the calorie intake. They need energy. You know, it cannot be just on an empty stomach. So they need a higher protein content, especially in the morning, and also the sugar. It must be cut as low as possible. And also, we need to look at the issue of nuts and beans. And the doctor there explains the reasons why nuts and beans. On my side, I'm still learning. Those who need the notes, I will give you, leaders, and I encourage you to go and take the course. And also healthy oils. And part of those oils, I think, are they are those in the coledus. And also when you cook, you know, and also he spoke on the oils that we don't need to burn the oil until it has got smoke, because when we do that, it brings back the bad chemicals that encourages the growth of cells. And also you need to look at the kale, the brassica family as part of the nutrition, the seaweed as well, and the rainbow colors. I believe it is about there must be a lot of color in those vegetables that you are taking, because the more they have, the more nutrition that we have. Now, this is a recap here. The recap here is saying, leaders, cancer is a metabolic disease. Now, that issue of it being a genetic disease, we need to put it away from us, because that is the thing that brings fear to us. But when we say it is a metabolic disease, we know that we can starve that cancer. We can starve it, not to eat, you know. And it says the nutritional support to be, it must be the primary focus of the treatment, not secondary. You know, we must not just wait for those days when they are going into the therapy, you know, whether it is radiotherapy or chemo. Leaders, can we mute ourselves? I'm doing it purposely that I don't mute you. We can hear you this side. Please mute yourself. It says cancer can be prevented. It can also be reversed, and also it can be cured with the right nutrition. Now, this is something that we do not want to hear. Okay, leaders, just give me 1 minute. Let me go and try to mute there. Let me go and try and mute all. I don't seem to be having the. Okay. There you go. Thank you, leaders. Thank you. Now, now this is the recap that we have, leaders. We have a few minutes that are left. I'm just doing this, leaders, to you for us to know that we carry anti-cancer products. Therefore, at some stage, half the time, we will be meeting people who have got a cancer condition with them. And as we meet them, we need to be sensitive and understand what they are going through, and empathize and not be opportunistic, but at the same time reach out in a sensible manner. You know, whether they are people who are fellow distributors or family members, or people who are, you know, coming to you. This is the information that when they hear it from this video, and when they hear it from our blogs, they become comfortable that we can, you know, these are the people that we can speak to, because they need a confidant, you know. Now, a Chinese proverb that the doctor says, he says, he who takes medicine and neglects to diet wastes the skill of his doctors. That is the importance of the dieting. Now, cancer metabolism, how cancer live and eat? Now, cancer is alive and cancer can eat. So that is why they say it is a metabolic disease. Now, cancer cells, they love sugar. Leaders, if we have our family members that are facing this challenge, we need to help them here, because they like glucose, fructose, and even sucrose. Now, leaders, Let us not give our family members the watermelon simply because say it is a fruit. That for them, it is a no-no. Let us not give them the grapes. That for them, it is a no-no because they love sugar. We can give them the other fruits. Now, it says here cancer cells don't need oxygen to survive. They need sugar. So it is important that our people must be in places that have got fresh air. We must always expose them to fresh air. In that way, the cancer cells, they are starved. You know, it says cancer cells suck up sugar faster than normal cells because they eat sugar. Leaders, do you notice that when we are studying about diabetes, we will be studying almost the same issues here because I just took 2 courses of diabetes yesterday just to compare between these courses. At the end of the day, as we are growing, we need to be careful of a sweet tooth of sugar because whether we are on the diabetic side, whether we are on the cancer side, sugar is a problem. It says they rarely use another nutrient other than sugar. That is the food of the cancer cells. Now, now the cancer cells, what they have, it is a dysfunctional mitochondria. I don't want to enter into the technical words. The mitochondria is a battery within a cell. I think it is best for us to know it that way. That battery becomes dysfunctional. It means that it begins to give wrong information to the other cells. Now the growth of the cancer cells, it depends on the amount of nutrients that are available. Now, I'm not going to go into that one. We will review that one again. I do not have an explanation for that one, and I hope I will be forgiven for that. My main goal is for us to have the awareness that let us study this course. I'm also learning, but I'm just bringing this awareness to you leaders. Bear with me. In a month's time or 2 months' time, as a student, I will also become better in giving explanation. The main thing here is about awareness. We cannot say we step back because we are not educated in this area. That is where we begin to be afraid of it. Remember that statement that says, it is time we stop fear cancer, but cancer must fear us because we have some knowledge. I mean, you do have some knowledge about your car. There are certain things you don't take your car to the mechanic for because you don't want to pay unnecessarily. So why not we have knowledge about our bodies? Let's not shy away from knowing the little that we know. The more every day it becomes better. The faster growing tumors respond better to therapies. Now, leaders, I'm going to give you notes of this and also the reason why I want you to see this and compare with what we have in the C24/7. Now, the metabolism of cancer continues. It says here, the cancer cells, they need inflammatory factors to have more blood vessels and root itself deeper. Now, we need to remove any form of inflammation, leaders. Even if we have to put the patches, in order to remove inflammation, we need to remove inflammation because the atmosphere of inflammation, when there is pain, blood goes to that place and the cell gets, it's some kind of a manure to it to root itself deeper. It says cancer cells can evade and counterattack your immune cells. It is another issue that we need to look at that. And also they thrive in a low pH environment. A low pH environment, leaders, is an acidic environment. That is why we are always saying that we have alkaline-based the supplements that we have are alkaline-based. Now you will begin to notice why they are alkaline-based. Now, where cancer cells, they thrive where there is sugar, they thrive where there is a low pH value, which means that where there is acid, and they thrive where there is inflammation. We must stay away from those things, leader. And also where there is weak immune system. So we need to avoid, the simple sugars, anything that is raising the insulin levels too much. There are also some fruit and vegetables and starchy foods, that we will need to look at. When it says vegetables, I don't know whether it is talking about some kind of potato, too much of it. I don't know, but there are also some vegetables that we'll have to look at. So, so now here is the other thing, leaders. The food that helps cancer cells to grow, the other foods is meat. We need to be careful, especially of the red meat, leaders, especially when it is cooked above, when it is cooked in high temperatures. We need to be careful of that. And also foods that are adulterated, that is milk and cheese. Milk and cheese, we know that it is mucus forming, and also the trans fats. And that is at the time where that high temperature, that is on that oil, and then we have that processed oils, and when it has got that smoke, it carries those chemicals and the chemical preservatives. So leaders, sugar, the food that is cooked in a high temperature, the processed foods, we need to go green as much as we can, and red meat for our cancer challenge people is a no-no. Okay, I've got little time that is left here. So here is the basic theory of food against cancer. It's low sugar levels in the blood. That second one, I did look at it, and I said I must go and learn more, because when it says reduce the delivery of nutrients, I know that you must make the environment hostile for cancer, but I think I understand it as that you must not feed cancer, but you must starve cancer. That is my understanding of that. Now the recap of the metabolism, it says avoid the whites, which is white rice, bread, flour, pasta, milk, cheese, eggs. Forget the red meat. The more a certain food is processed, it is worse for you. I think that is the end of the cancer metabolism. And also here it says feed your faith and your faith and your fears. Okay, let me read it again. Feed your faith and your fears will starve to death. Okay, if you feed your faith, your fears will starve to death. I think most of our challenge in cancer is fear. So the more we get the correct knowledge, we begin to have, our hopes are high and our faith, it becomes high. Leaders, I want to stop here. I want to stop here, leaders, because what is going to come from here, we are going to continue here about, okay, we are going to continue about nutrition, and also we are going to continue about vitamins and minerals, and the antioxidants, the pro-oxidants. You see all those terms. We are going to continue about those things, and I want to take this as slow as possible. I would rather have a part one, leaders, because now the next time you talk about antioxidant, about synergistic, you understand that where these things come from. These are not just terms that come from Alliance in Motion. They are terms that, are used when we are fighting against these cancer cells. So you will see it's a lot that we still need to look at here, but I just don't want to go down that road. I would rather have a part two of it. Those are vitamins, minerals, and also what is very interesting here, leaders, we also have phytochemicals. So every time here we talk about phytoalkaline, we have phytochemicals. So we will go down that road in our part 2 of this very interesting, also detoxification. We will go in our part 2 of this very interesting topic, leaders. But I thought that I need to give a little bit of what I have also learned. I am continuing to learn, leaders, because the reason why I learn about this is because I was told that our products are anti-cancer and antioxidant. If you notice our products, it is written antioxidant stroke anti-cancer. So that is what I was told, that the tumors that are growing, it becomes anti-malignant. So that is the reason I decided to study about this, because it is time for us not to fear cancer, but cancer must fear us because we know about it. And I think for now, leaders, I'm going to stop there and open for just a discussion and also maybe some questions. But this is the little I had to do today for us not to fear, to distribute and reach out to people who have got this challenge. You are open to unmute yourself and make a comment. We are left with about just 3 minutes to close. Any comment, Leader Maluleke?
What I can say, thank you very much, Leader. It was very much informative. We have learned a lot, and we know as of now as to what kind of food must we avoid, what kind of food must we take in order to alleviate this cancer.
Yes, Leader. Thank you, Leader.
We appreciate the efforts you're doing to get this information and feed us, so that we may be knowledgeable when we approach our patients or the clients that we are
Thank you, Leader.
to take care of, and also for ourselves specifically. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Leader. Thank you, Leader. Thank you, Leader. And we need to continue to give all credit to Dr. Lim Homer. And also I will give in the video, I will give all the details of his websites. We must always give credit to him and not say we are using it for selling our own products, but we are learning from him. Thank you, Leader. Any other comment?
Okay, thank you so much, Leader Vando. It's very informative and educative. Actually, thank you for empowering us, because it's going to help us, we personally taking the products, and when we are going out there to distribute and sell our products. I always repeat, knowledge is power. Now when we go and meet people, we know what we say, we know why we can answer even some of the questions when they're asking us why should we take your products. Thank you so much for every effort and information that you are giving us. We appreciate. Thank you.
Thank you, Leader. Anybody else? The Malachi family?
Hi, leaders.
Good evening.
The topic of today is one of the topic which we don't even want to hear.
Yes, yes.
That there is cancer, because it's so scary that what if you get attacked by cancer, what are you going to do?
Yes.
But now this lessons, this Zoom, I think, presentations, they open our mind that you're not supposed just to fear anything, because you're going to be killed by fear. So
yes.
by knowledge, as the lady has already mentioned, that is power.
Yes. Yes.
We really, really appreciate that. You know, I don't want to mention that how much effort you take, because that is painful for me.
Yes, yes, leader. Yes.
Say, making research, analyzing information, going through if that information is correct, if the
Yes.
source is correct, because on Google there is so many information, so you need
Yes.
to analyze which one is correct, because
Yes.
you
Yes.
know very well that you go into to give people that are really, really important and to your heart. So we really thank you. We
Yes.
cannot stop thanking you.
Thank you, leader.
Please let us God give you that energy to do this, because research, I know research, there is no one who can wake up and go to do research and then come back and give the information and the correct information, which, because sometimes you mention cancer. Who knows that I'm struggling with cancer? You're not saying that, Mamalaji, you have this sickness.
Yes.
You just know that in this world where we live in today, as long as you have a challenge, one day you'll have a stroke, one day you'll have cancer, one day.
Yes. Yeah.
So you prepare us that should something like this face us, we know what to do. You give us weapons, Fandro.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
leader.
much.
Thank you, leader. Thank you, leader. Can I open for one more person? Yes. Is there somebody? What leader has mentioned there is very sensitive. It is true. It takes a lot of pains, a lot of time, a lot of sacrifice. It is time I could be taking to do prospecting and chase my prospects, you know, and say my 5 prospects per day, my 10 prospects per day. But I'm just saying, you know, like we were told during the week, you know, when you raise your quality to be above the price, money will just follow. You know, you need to raise your quality to be above the price. You know, there is that temptation that I must chase my targets. You know, how many prospects have I called today, this and that. But I really want to come with the best quality to the people that I will be talking to out there. Because I am in this for a long haul. I'm not passing here, leaders. This wellness, I'm in it for a long haul because it's my life as well. Maybe next week we will talk about our personal experiences. You know, for those who are free to do so, I'm willing to share about mine as well, but we need to be victorious. We need to live long, and any obstacle that can be removed by nutrition, let us remove it. So thank you, leaders. I will make a recording of this and send it to you. Again, thank you for coming today. God bless you.
Thank you.
All right.
God bless you too.
Thank you, leader.
Thank you so much.
Okay, keep well. Good night, leaders.
Night.